Yo, what's good with y'all? I'm gonna make a quick video or like a quick guide for the Lizard Man. If you ever want to make the Rev 2, the Rev 3, or the Supreme Weapon, just a reference video to some that are returning to Onigiri, which I've seen a lot of returning players. And for all of the new players out there, you can use this combination or another combination or information video here on this boss. Now, it's a couple of things that you got to do. You got to actually talk to Lancelot first in the Onigashima, and you got to do a bunch of quests to actually unlock all the dungeons leading up to this point. But once that is done, this is the final dungeon you want to be able to clear to complete everything that you need. I'm actually going to drop a boost because I'll be running this to actually make a Rev 2 for myself. And there's a couple of things that the boss is weak to. The boss is weak to holy. The boss is weak to fire. The boss is weak to rain. And maybe a little weak to ice, if I'm not mistaken. But I would say those are probably the best elements. Dark, he may be a little weak to dark too. I don't know for sure. But for this dungeon in particular, I've used my Hound Dog. Hound Dog actually does quite a bit of damage to him. I want to watch out for the guys in here. They actually have like these lasers that beam the shit out of your HP. And be careful when getting hit by them. Once you unlock this area, you want to get rid of all of them as quick as possible. They'll try to kill you while you're in that room doing your thing. Going down this hallway, I have max scroll Hound Dog, level 100, so he hits pretty damn hard. There's a boss around every corner. These guys actually hit really hard. My Hound Dog is just pretty tanky. I do recommend, however, a drop boost for the drops at the very end. Right now is a pretty good time to get all materials that you need because of Fever being around. So if you have like 200% drop boost and lower drop boost, this will actually help out. If you have to kill these guys before the laser, then killing them before they actually use that laser, you actually won't take any damage from the laser. Alright, so now here at the boss is when it really gets interesting. The boss is actually able to stun vanguards, you, and whatever is attacking him. He has quite a bit of HP. But here's what we're gonna do. Go ahead and hit him with one of these. Oh, never mind. The ID is gone. Alright, the reason why I'm using Akane for him is because Akane has the element that he's weak to, being fire, and it also has iframes, so it makes for easy clearing of the boss. Right now, as you can see, I'm rocking a lot of fire element. She has her own buffs for dealing more damage, so that's always good too. I can name a few vanguards that'll help you clear the boss, so that if you have them around, they'll definitely help out. Some of the vanguards that I can name off top that can actually help you clear this dungeon. This boss is he's a beast in nature. So if you have any vanguards that are strong to beast, they have a chance against him. So if you actually get a vanguard that is one of the elements that I named, which would be rain, possibly dark, holy, ice, fire. If you have one of those elements, whether it just being you or if you have one of those elements that your vanguard specializes in, and they're also strong against beasts, look for the strong against beasts in description, then that'll actually help. But I'm going to show you what I mean. So first of all, Venus, I usually use her for holy or rain. Both her holy and rain can actually take care of this boss. I only have her one scrolled in level 180 because I'm waiting to get more scrolls for her. But she does a lot of damage to the boss within herself. And as long as you have a decent build when you swap into her, she does a very good job of taking care of his HP. So she can definitely get the job done. But notice that she is strong against beasts. I'm going to scroll down on her parameters so you can see her elements. She does have holy, she does have wind, but she also has a rain skill. She has some really good aqua needles. So if you actually have a rain build, then you swap into her, that will actually, she will actually do more damage knowing that you have the rain element on you. I don't know what lightning does to him. I think he's pro lightning, so I wouldn't try it too quickly. But yeah, another person I've used before is Keyed In. Keyed In is really good, and she's also strong against beasts. Let me scroll down a little bit. She's got fire and she's got lightning. She usually uses both when attacking. So he might be a little weak to lightning, but I know that he's weak to fire. So she attacks with both, and that's probably what takes most of the damage or whatever. I usually have 2 weapons for her. I have her 3 scrolls, so I used to use her back in the day to clear this dungeon, but now I have a Kane, which is a better option for me, which is 5 scroll, which is easier for me to charge, and also has a longer duration and more iframe skills. With Keyed In, she does have some really good skills. If you have a Keyed In, I would recommend Clash of Heavens. And as high as you can get the Clash of Heavens, I would double them up because it's so good. And as you can see, even though they're lightning skills, I feel like they still do a lot of damage. But whenever I ran into here with Keyed In, I ended up making a second weapon, and this second weapon, as you can see, she has her own very buff. And in this buff, I will also use Sphere, the illumination spheres that she has. Those are really, really spammy, and they're really good. And they're ranged skills, so those can do a lot of damage as well. Bringing a little bit more fire into her build. And I also recommend Serenity, or I recommend all of her Flames of Eternal Luck and Scorching Eruption. I recommend those as well. It's really good fire skills. So take the buff. The buff does take some of her HP. If you guys have a Chiyami, run a Chiyami with Keyed In and use these spheres from a distance. Try to learn the attack patterns of the boss and avoid his attacks. And you could use Keyed In. Keyed In is really good. Let me scroll down. Let me see. Let's check out her parameters. Nope. I think is it Lancelot? Yeah, Lancelot is huge. Lancelot is great for this boss. She's strong against beasts as well. Lancelot is rain and holy, so you can either use rain or holy. Rain and holy is probably, aside from like fire, like the strongest things that you can use in this dungeon to complete the dungeon. Is really good. If you guys need guides on Lancelot, or you want me to start dropping like Vanguard guides and stuff, and what type of skills I use to get over bosses, just let me know. But Lancelot is another. Hoyo is another. I don't really have many scrolls for Hoyo. I got 2 scrolls in her. I've seen her do some numbers, but she's just not as impressive as I need her to be. I probably need another scroll. Eventually, I'll probably test like Amuna Jaku's numbers against this boss, because Amuna Jaku is strong against Beast. Amuna Jaku uses fire and mountain skills, but having Amuna Jaku 10 scrolled, which is full scrolled, she lasts a long time, and I don't know how her damage scales against the boss, because he does have a lot of HP. It is what it is. KG probably does really good, just like she does against pretty much most of the bosses in the game. KG has iframes and is pre-charged, so you don't have to worry about charging her. So she does really good. Wolf King, if you can get her charged before she gets to the boss, she does really good too. But you would definitely have to stay away from the boss, as the boss will start doing a whole lot of damage to you. So let's keep that in mind. But I've been rocking Akane, and Akane is has never disappointed. Has never disappointed me in this fight. So I'm using Hound Dog to clear most of the rooms, the charge, or you could use Icicle Punishment. You don't really have to use, or you could just use like any skill, or just kill them by yourself if you don't have Hound Dog, or any really good mounts. But they do have a decent amount of HP, since this is like a 130 dungeon. A lot of the mobs in here can one-shot a lot of builds if you don't have a lot of defense, or you don't know what you're doing. So you either have a lot of defense or you have a lot of attack power. You definitely want to make sure that you have one or the other to be able to clear this dungeon. But just for this small guide, this is the last little time we're gonna pretty much complete this dungeon. Just wanted to give you guys a small guide on, you know, as a reference video to, I guess, returning players that may be going after their Supreme after all these years. I know it's just returning. I've been waiting for it for 6 years, but in my opinion, it pretty much got outdated, and it's got passed up. I've been waiting for it for about 6 years. It finally returned, and it's kind of upsetting to see that I won't be making one for myself, because it was really highly anticipated by me, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, and I just couldn't wait for its return. But ever since the introduction of Darkfin, I've made Darkfin weapons, and I have not really looked back since. But Supreme, even to this day, is still, I'd say, like maybe in the order, it's probably like the 3rd strongest dark weapon you can get in the game. Because I put the Supreme over the Nadir. Nadir was doing numbers on Tiamat back then, in those days where we were farming against Tiamat, and I remember at some point I was also farming a Nadir just to have something that I believe to be a tad bit stronger than the Night Sky that we all had made at some point. And I'm gonna show you Hound Dog can also do numbers. The best skill that he has that does numbers, I would believe, is this Chakram skill. Chakram skill does a lot to this boss. Alright. And this move right here is their buff. And I literally just spam after this from this point on. and she usually hits that damage cap multiple times, sometimes a little bit over. It's an iframe skill. You can pretty much spam, and she's just very nice to have. I'm very lucky to have her before her event had went away. Alright. And guys, if you like videos like this, I will be uploading more videos into my boss series, into my pro tip series, and lots of other videos, helpful videos. If you did find this helpful, please leave it a like and bring a comment, drop a comment for me. Let me know how great it was, or just any type of comment or any thoughts that you have about this dungeon. Also, if you have any other builds or methods that you would like to add to this video, please feel free to drop it down below in the comments as well. It may be some things I forget about, or different ways. There's so many different ways to complete these said dungeons. And I just make these videos as reference to returning players, or just so that, you know, you have visual, like a visual guide for the newer players that actually tune into the game. So thank you guys for helping me out, and thank you guys for the support, any support that I do receive. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I appreciate you guys. See you next time.